this problem, we'll multiply these two rational expressions. So we got 6x squared plus 13x minus 5 over 9x squared minus 1 times 21x squared minus 5x minus 4 all over 7x squared plus 17x minus 12. Well, step one was we want to factor everything. This is a key number because we have x squared x, no x, number in front of our x squared. This is dots, difference two squares. We got two terms of minus between it. This one is key number. We got x squared x, no x, number in front of our x squared. And this one is key number. X squared x, no x, number in front of our x squared. Okay. Well, let's look at our first one here. So we got 6x squared plus 13x minus 5. Key number, we take the number at the beginning times the number at the end, ignoring signs. So we got 6 times 5, which gives us 30. Come up with our three columns. The P column, we list all the products, give us 30. We got 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 5 times 6. The S column, or S for sum, we want to add these together. 1 plus 30 is 31, 2 plus 15 is 17, 3 plus 10 is 13, 5 plus 6 is 11. Difference column, we want to subtract, D for difference. 30 minus 1, 29, 15 minus 2 is 13, 10 minus 3 is 7, 6 minus 5 is 1. The number we're looking for is a number in our middle term, which is a 13. We got 13 in both columns, actually. Now, the one I want to choose is this one. If you get uncomfortable with the signs, the only way you can have a negative on your last term is when it's different signs. So we're going to use 2 and 15. Now, if you're not getting comfortable with the signs, try one. See if it works. When I say see if it works, see if it'll actually factor, and if you multiply it backwards, we'll give you the original polynomial. Okay, so we got 2 and 15. We're going to rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. Our larger number in the P column that we're using, which is a 15, is always the same sign as the middle term, which in this problem was positive. So we've got plus 15x. Remember, our circle's in the difference column. D for different signs. It means one's positive, one's negative. If the 15 is positive, then 2 has to be negative. Then we're going to factor by grouping. Group first two together, group last two together. First two have a 3 and an x in common. And that gives us 2x plus 5. The last group, they have nothing in common, but my first term is negative, so I want to factor out negative 1. And that leaves us 2x plus 5. Now our goal was to get these the same. So I'll factor those out. And to see what goes in your second set of parentheses, you can cross out the 2x plus 5s now. And what isn't crossed out is what goes in your second set of parentheses, which would be 3x minus 1. So this factors as 2x plus 5 times 3x minus 1. Now 9x squared minus 1. Two terms of minus between it, difference two squares. We try to write it as something squared minus something else squared. You take a look at each individual piece and you ask yourself what times itself gives you that. For the 9, that's 3 times 3. For the x squared, that's x times x. And for the 1, that's 1 times 1. Now I'm going to label what's inside my first set of parentheses as f for first. What's inside my last set of parentheses is l for last. Our formula is f plus l times f minus l. So wherever we have an f, we'll plug in 3x. Wherever we have an l, we'll plug in 1. So we've got 3x plus 1 times 3x minus 1. And that's how this factors. 3x plus 1 and 3x minus 1. Okay, Now we want to factor 21x squared minus 5x minus 4, top of the second fraction. This is again key number. We take the number at the beginning times the number at the end. So I'll take 21 times 4. Notice we ignore signs. And that gives us 84. We come up with our three columns. P is the products. Whole products give us 84. We got 1 times 84, 2 times 42, 3 times something. Let's see, 6, 24, 8. Okay, so 3 times 28. 4 times 21, 5, no, 6 times 14, yeah. 7 times 12, 8, no, 9, no. I think that's it, actually. So now the S column, I want to add them together. 1 plus 84 is 85, 2 plus 42 is 44, 3 plus 28 is 31, 4 plus 21 is 25, 6 plus 14 is 20, 7 plus 12 is 19. D, difference, we want to subtract them, smaller from larger. 84 minus 1 is 83, 42 minus 2 is 40, 28 minus 3 is 25, 21 minus 4 is 17, 14 minus 6 is 8, 12 minus 7 is 5. Number we're looking for is always number in our middle term, which is a 5, which is right here. So we're going to use 7 and 12. Now we're going to rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. The larger number in the P column that we're using, which is a 12, will always be same sign as the middle term, which is in this problem was negative. So we've got negative 12x. Number has circles in the difference column. D for different signs means one will be positive, one will be negative. Since the 12 is negative, then the 7 has to be positive. Now we want to factor by grouping. So group first two together, group last two together. First two have a 3 and an x in common, I believe. Yeah. And that 21 divided by 3 is 7. And took one of those x's away, so that leaves a single x. Minus 12 divided by 3 is 4, and that x is gone. Now the second group has nothing in common. If there's nothing in common, you can always factor out a 1. So I'll factor out a 1. Now our goal was to get this parentheses the same as this, and it is. So I'll factor out a 7x minus 4. Now to see what goes in your second set of parentheses, you can cross out these 7x minus 4s. And that leaves us 3x plus 1. So 7x minus 4, 7x minus 4, and no memory, 3x plus 1. Okay, so let's factor this last one. 7x squared plus 17x minus 12. Again, key number. Take the number at the beginning times the number at the end. So I got 7 times 12. Notice I'm ignoring signs. And that gives us 84. Did we just do 84? Ah, we did. Anyway, I'll write down table again, just so we can see everything circled and everything. Okay, so we got 1 times 84, 2 times 42, 3 times 28, 4 times 21, 6 times 14, 7 times 12. I guess that's it. Add them. So it gives us 85, 44, 31, 25, 20, 19. Subtract them. Gives us 83, 40, 25, 17, 8, and 5. Now, the number we're looking for is a number in the middle term, which is 17, which is right here. So I'm going to use 4 and 21. So we're going to rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. Our larger number in the P column that we're using, which is a 21, is always going to be the same sign as the middle term, which in this problem was positive. Number I circled is in the difference column. D for different signs means one will be positive, one will be negative. Since the 21 is positive, then 4 has to be negative. Then we're going to factor by grouping. Group first two together, group last two together. First two, they have a 7x in common, GCF-wise. So that 7's gone, one of these x's is gone, so we got x plus 21 divided by 7 is 3, and that x is gone. Now these are both divisible by 4, and our first term is negative. So I factor out a negative 4, and that gives us x plus 3. Now our goal was to get these parentheses the same, and they are. So I'll factor out an x plus 3. And to see what goes in your second set of parentheses, you can now cross out these x plus 3's. And what isn't crossed out here goes in your second set of parentheses. So that'd be 7x minus 4. So we got x plus 3, 7x minus 4. And now step 1. Okay. Step 2, cancel. Your only guideline is one's on top, one's on the bottom. They don't have to be in the same fraction. They can be. And they're the same. So one's on top, one's on the bottom, and they're the same. Well, here's a 3x minus 1, here's a 3x minus 1. So those are going to cancel. Here's a 3x plus 1, here's a 3x plus 1. So those are going to cancel. Here's a 7x minus 4, here's a 7x minus 4. Those cancel. Again, only guideline is one's on top, one's on the bottom, and they're the same. Now we're left with 2x plus 5 up on top, and we're left with x plus 3 down here. And that's our answer.